This saying probably originated from the Fante people of Ghana. But certainly, Dr. James Aggrey, who was one of the greatest champion of education in Africa, himself a Ghanaian, made this saying more popular. Dr. Aggrey, who lived from 1875 to 1927, traversed the African continent campaigning and championing for education of African people, and seeing that parents were even more reluctant to take their girls to school, promoted this saying and translated into, if you educate a woman, you educate the nation. During the days of Dr. Aggrey, it was an anomaly to educate a girl. We have come a long way since, but we still have a lot to do. We still have cultural barriers, we still have biases, we still have the need to invest in infrastructure that will be more friendly to girls to attend the school. Until recently, pregnant girls were permanently denied re-entry to school in Tanzanian mainland. Her Excellency President Samia Suluhu Hassan has since ordered that all school dropouts, all of them, include those who dropped out of school or expelled from school on account of being pregnant, must be allowed back to school. Now, there are many factors that militate against the entry program. One element is cultural, and even some religious interpretation that makes it quite difficult to execute the re-entry program. The ministry, we have conducted an evaluation study together with UNICEF to try to assess the implementation of the directive of the President to allow girls who were pregnant to gain back their positions in schools. We have discovered a range of issues that we are going to tackle, and I'm not going to belabor the issue here with you tonight. I think they gave me only 5 minutes. So there's a lot of things that we need to keep talking about. The law and the law yet has not yet changed, as I think as Martha kept reminding us, but we are now facilitating the re-entry program in Tanzania mainland. As I said, the study that we conducted was also benchmarked against Zanzibar, which has never had a problem of re-entry, and other countries such as Ghana, South Africa, Zimbabwe, and the others. And we see some of the challenges are social and cultural, where parents refuse to allow their girls to go back to school, and some teachers defy the order, restricting those who are supposed to go back to school to regain their positions. Of course, there are issues of infrastructure, there are issues of the rights of the infant also to be taken care of while the mother is going back to school. It's a big challenge, the tail order. One thing we discovered is that it's not true that allowing re-entry of the teens, girls who have been pregnant, will encourage more teens pregnancy. We didn't see that in Zanzibar, not in Ghana, not in other countries that we tried to evaluate. So the task is more than just a matter of policy, more than just a matter of law. It's also awareness campaign to parents, societies, schools, administrators, and the teachers, particularly to get rid of the stigmatization that I think was mentioned by the panelists. However, we are determined to succeed, and we draw a lot of inspirations from our esteemed guest, Malala. She has been a formidable champion of girls' education, and she almost paid the ultimate price for her effort. and the cowardly attempt on her life didn't cow her, it just strengthened her resolve. And we should all draw inspiration from her dedication and move forward. We are really happy, Malala, that you are with us here today, and I'm happy that you are going to inspire a lot of girls in Tanzania, and boys also, that apart from the need to educate girls, but that you can actually make a difference even at such a young age. People may know that you are the youngest winner of Nobel Peace Prize in the history of Nobel Peace Prize, Nobel Award in general, but they don't know the accolade you received even before you are attacked. That draw the attention of the world to the effort that you were already doing with the support of your father, who was also very courageous actually to let you campaign under very dangerous circumstances. Thank you. Let me say that the broader issue ahead of us is that no one should be left behind. We have a Swahili saying that elimu ni ufunguo wa maisha. Education is the key to life, to livelihood. Nobody should be denied this key. While we must address the issue of girls' education, particularly in order to redress the historical imbalance, and for the fact that the multiplier effect of educating a girl is truly, there is a little bit of hyperbole, but truly it's bigger than educating a boy. We still have problems with boys drop out of school, and it may surprise you that in terms of numbers, dropout of boys in Tanzania is bigger than of girls, and that's true in Tanzania and many of our neighboring countries. And the reasons are slightly different. With girls, there's a huge influence of culture. With boys, economics. You see, for instance, the biggest dropout in Tanzania comes from areas where you have mining activities. Boys leave schools to go and participate in mining to try to make a living. And the fact that some of them actually drop out of school in order to support the family. We are conducting a major study in the Ministry of School Dropouts in general. We feel we have some anecdotal evidence of why children drop out of school, but we want to conduct research to establish exactly the reason behind, so that the police measures that we're going to take will be properly informed by research findings. One thing we know for sure, we need to make education more relevant to the lives of our children. Therefore, we have undertaken education reforms that have been spoken about here. And the other aspect of the education reforms is to increase the number of years that constitute compulsory education. In Tanzania right now, primary education is 7 years and compulsory education is 7 years. You start your school when you are 6, which means when you finish after 7 years, you are 13 years. We have no law to force you to stay in school. So you can leave the education system when you are 13 years. So what Martha was saying here about the law with respect to marriage will also apply to education, that if you allow kids to leave schools when they're 13, and by law, if you marry a student, you'll be punished by law. You'll be jailed. But if you allow them to go out of school when they're 13, then you cannot jail somebody because they have gone out with a school. But now with the reforms that we have, it will be compulsory for everybody to stay in school at least for 10 years. So when you start schools when you're 6, at least if you have to drop, you'll drop school when you're 16. By increasing the number of years in school, we know various studies have shown, actually first it delay the first pregnancy, but also to protect the girls when they're staying in school, to make sure that we do not lose them. So the reforms itself is going to address many issues, but these aspects also will be addressed as part of the effort. So it's a big challenge ahead of us to implement the package of reforms that the government has ambitiously put in place under the directive of our president. And we look forward to working with all partners, GPE, Malala Fund, and everybody else, UNICEF, because by 2027 in Tanzania, every child will have to stay in school for 10 years. The first cohort that will continue up to the 10th grade will make a transition in 2027. That's for today. Let me thank once again Malala Fund, Jakaya Mrisho Kikwete Foundation, and GPE for organizing this wonderful event, and also thank the panelists for the wonderful discussion and insight that help us reflect on the way forward. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana.
Tumedhamiria tunaboresha elimu yetu.